Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Monday Night Raw review from October 19th, 2015 episode. And there's not much to say here. It's just the same old rhetoric bullshit over and over again, repetitive crap. Nothing exciting went on here except for a few things. Like, for instance, we had a lot of the old stars from back in the day who were great and still are in most people's eyes. We had Shawn Michaels, we had Stone Cold Steve Austin kicking off the show. He went ahead and introduced The Undertaker. Undertaker came out, did his spiel, but nothing too big during this promo between Undertaker and Brock Lesnar was that big of a deal. It was the same rhetoric, pretty much saying, I'm going to beat you, he's going to beat, and Brock's going to beat him, blah, blah, blah. Same old shit. Nothing new, nothing different. So, alright, fine. We got a pretty simplistic build-up here. Final match, Hell in a Cell, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. The only thing interesting about this is who's going to walk out victorious. My prediction is actually The Undertaker, which I'll get into in the next video with the Hell in a Cell preview prediction video. So we went out on to get our very first match, and my God, I mean, they had a lot of six-man tag team matches throughout the show. I mean, they had about three six-man tag team matches. Fucking, I think like they had another tag team match with the Divas division. It was just fucking nuts. So our first match was a six-man tag team match with the Dudley Boys and Cena facing the New Day, and New Day walked away victorious again over the Dudley Boys. Now, where is this coming into where there's a belief that the Dudley Boys even have a shot at winning the WWE Tag Team titles against the New Day at Hell in a Cell? I still believe that this is going to happen, mainly because of the fact that the Dudley Boys wouldn't be continuously keep challenging for the tag team titles and not win at some point, and then maybe lose it to them later on down the road. But my God, man, this is just getting ridiculous. John Cena has no purpose right now. He's holding on a U.S. title where he's just giving open challenges to anybody, and it's been mostly the New Day challenging for the U.S. title belt. This match wasn't all that big and exciting. We got to see the Dudley Boys and John Cena put one of the New Day's combatants through a table at the end of the match. So that was pretty cool to see, but nothing was interesting about this match whatsoever. We then had Team Bella with Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella defeating Team Bad with Naomi and Sasha Banks. Did not give a shit. Turned the channel over to the NFL game between the Eagles and Giants, which the Eagles beat the shit out of the Giants, but I'll save that for my NFL review week number 6, which I haven't done a couple in the last couple of weeks. I do apologize about that for any of you that actually enjoy watching my reviews on the NFL week by week. But yeah, this match was, I didn't even care for it, didn't even bother watching it. After that, we got in a 9 o'clock hour. We had Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, break in. He starts doing his jazz, talking about some things, and about his career starting up, and him being a Texan, and everything else, and so forth. And Seth Rollins came out. The fans started going nuts with the idea of seeing Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins in the same fucking ring at the same time. The fans were saying one more match to Shawn Michaels, which would be a freaking dream match with Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins saying that he is the version 2 of Shawn Michaels and is a better version than Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels comes back with a comment like this, that, why would you want to be version 2 when you could be Seth Rollins version 1 and not be me, know, it doesn't make any sense. I always want, his attitude is, I always want to just be me, not be somebody else and mimic them, because then there's no originality there. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. And then he mentioned that his match is against Ryback of the upcoming match, which led us into the match between Seth Rollins and Ryback. And I have to say this, I mean, there was no Demon Kane in this portion of the match. I was kind of surprised that they didn't have the Masked Kane show up at this event and do something, and they didn't. And the corporate version was suspended for the day without doing anything or being involved in the WWE action or WWE in-ring segments or anything like that. So I was really surprised that they did not have, the situation with Kane and Seth Rollins have any kind of build-up in the last episode going into Hell in a Cell. Very shocked by this, but then granted, who really gives a fuck about Kane? Kane's got no, there's no value to him anymore. He's just a fucking bland, boring guy that they've used 100 times, done the same fucking things with, and it's just old, boring, and fucking just dumb. It doesn't make any sense. He's just a fucking boring person to watch. And he's also old as fuck. He needs to just retire and give it up, Put him in a Hall of Fame. He deserves that at least. He's really produced a lot of good stuff in the years. He's had some great time tag teamed with Undertaker. His debut with the character of Kane was awesome, especially with that whole build-up leading into WrestleMania 14. I mean, he's had some really decent moments in his career. He had a nice, decent title reign as a World Heavyweight Champion on SmackDown in 2010. Probably the only thing memorable about his career, outside of a few big things, a few things that he did, but, I mean, the guy is not all that great and entertaining to have anymore on the show. He's just a fucking bland, boring guy. After that, we had fucking another 6-man tag team match, the second one of the night. We had King Barrett, Rusev, and Sheamus defeating Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, and Neville, which we later find out in the show that they're going to have this match again on the pre-show of Hell in a Cell. Now, this doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Sheamus hit the bro kick on Dolph Ziggler, and was pinned 1, 2, 3 by King Barrett. That definitely shows a sign that before I even knew the announcement for the new pre-show match, I already knew that Dolph Ziggler was not challenging for that U.S. title. There sure as hell ain't no way he's going to be challenging for this belt. It's got to be somebody new and different, which I'll get into in the review or prediction video of Hell in a Cell. But this match was just a complete fucking waste of time. It was 12 minutes long. I mean, it was good. It was alright, but it wasn't like fucking. There was no reason for it. It had no purpose. There was no build up towards anything. Any one of these guys had any kind of decent rivalry building in a storyline. There was nothing here. It was garbage. It just was a match thrown in just to be thrown in. And now it's being thrown in again on a pay-per-view event for the pre-show, which, thank God, that's the only case. If they put it on the main card, I'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? After that, we went ahead and had Ric Flair show up. He did his spiel about Roman Reigns being his favorite guy and how he loves Texas, blah, 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 and talking about it's the home of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns come out, and he has a decent. This was actually one of the best segments Roman Reigns has probably done up to now. Really, I liked the storyline talk, the talk between the two. I liked how he was psychologically trying to fuck up Bray Wyatt and everything. But there was one small problem with this whole segment. I mean, I liked the whole, interaction, conversation between these two. But there was one small issue that I have with this. One, Luke Harper was not there. They do not give any reason before the night even ends or after, by the main event why Luke Harper was not there to begin with. Just give some sort of fucking reason so that it makes sense. That made no fucking sense whatsoever. Then they had Eric Rowan wearing the white sheep mask, and they're going, who is that with the white sheep mask? I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck are you guys on? Drugs? You got Alzheimer's or what? You don't fucking remember that Eric Rowan wore the fucking damn white sheep mask, and he also had a green suit and a freaking red beard? What the hell is wrong with these people? They think they take the WWE audience for fucking idiots or something. I mean, unless you have not watched the Wyatt family from the beginning they started or any time last year, then of course you wouldn't know that. But if you've been watching it for 2 years now and you didn't know who that guy was, you're on fucking drugs. Or you're just fucked up and you can't remember shit. But if you've been paying attention since the beginning of since 2013 of the Wyatts showing up to now, and at least watch something between 2013 and 2014, you would have known that that's Eric Rowan. And these people are acting like they didn't know who the fuck they were. Or who he was. I mean, they're just fucking retarded. That's like a complete insult to my intelligence and makes me extremely upset. And number two, they have no explanation of why Luke Harper was not even at the event with them. It was completely idiotic. No explanations, no nothing. Just, let's throw him in for the hell of it. Who fucking cares? What the fuck, man? But, granted, the conversation between Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, was actually very well done. I really enjoyed listening to this, and the psychological play that Roman Reigns was trying to do on Bray Wyatt. I thought that was very interesting, nice little creative idea they threw in there just before the Hell in a Cell match. It was logical, it made a point, and it was logical reasoning to do that. But that thing with the Eric Rowan and the Luke Harper situation is completely fucked up. They give you no explanation why he ain't there, and they act like they don't even fucking remember Eric Rowan. Bunch of fucking idiots. And if you didn't notice that, now you do, and I feel ashamed that you didn't even know that. Or caught that they didn't even know who the fuck Eric Rowan was at the time when he was wearing the mask. Just utterly utter bullshit. And Vince McMahon should be ashamed of himself. He takes us for idiots. And I think he's a fucking bigger idiot the way he's been running the company the last few years. But that's not here or there. I'm not the one with the $1 million. He is, and he's running the company. Running it into the ground, it seems, but he's running the company, Nevertheless, okay? That was the word I was trying to think of. Sorry about that mental breakdown there. Or that mental fart that I had. But anyway, it was an utterly complete load of crap. We had Charlotte defeating Brie Bella. Who gives a fuck? That match was utterly ridiculous. Who fucking gives a shit about the Divas division at this point? They already fucked up the whole build-up and making the Divas be irrelevant or have any purpose in the fucking company. Now they're just right back to where they belong, in the shitter, and nobody gives a fuck. So, during that, between the main event and that match, they had Seth Rollins in backstage with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon, and they mentioned that Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns will be having a match later on in the night, in a handicap match against Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt in a 3-on-2 match. Well, Shawn Michaels opens his mouth up and says, why don't you let the man, Seth Rollins, go ahead and tag with them and have a little reunion? Well, Triple H was a little bit against it, saying, well, he kind of turned on them and beat the fucking shit out of them, and, you know, they might not care to have him on their team and whatnot. But Seth Rollins spoke up, said, hey, I'm a man, I can do this, blah, blah, blah. It can be a professional kind of attitude, and I'll go out there and I'll give them a helping hand and even the odds a little bit. Okay, he goes out there. Alright, so I'll get into that once we get to the main event. Kevin Owens facing Mark Henry. Mark Henry being the biggest fucking jobber I've ever seen. He is the largest jobber, making fucking the Brooklyn Brawler look small, okay? This guy is just a fucking job-out loser at this point. I don't understand why he doesn't just say, Vince, I'm resigning from the position I'm in. I retire, you know, a desk job, a backstage job, anything like that's cool, but I'm done with this. I have no purpose on here. What's the fucking point of me going out there and getting my ass kicked every fucking week? And not at least having a few wins under my belt and having any kind of meaning or purpose on the show. He doesn't. He has no purpose on the show outside of getting his ass kicked. And what's the point? It's not believable. I mean, granted, it was fucking awesome the way Kevin Owens and Mark Henry made that pop-up powerbomb look so fucking awesome. And well worth what they did. The match those two had was really good. I actually liked it. At first, I was kind of like, what are they doing with Kevin Owens? They're making him get his ass kicked back and forth with Mark Henry, and yet he's supposed to make him look good, but I appreciate the match they put on between the two of them, and it was definitely well worth the watch. I mean, it was only 3 minutes and 45 seconds, not that long of a match, but good nonetheless. We then had Ryback come out in the middle of the ring trying to chase after Kevin Owens, I guess to revenge his loss to Seth Rollins, or what have you. I don't even fucking understand why they made Ryback face Seth Rollins and have him lose, but whatever. So he comes out, he powerbombs Kevin Owens after Mark Henry gets him thrown back in the ring, and that's it. And what I can't understand is they got Kevin Owens when he first showed up, and I talked about this last week in my last review. He was a dominant character. He wasn't afraid to face anybody. He kicked everybody's ass. He was a heel, but at the same time, he wasn't afraid to fight anyone. Now, he's just running away from Ryback every chance he gets, and he ain't facing the man one-on-one. Even though, granted, we're going to see this match happen again for the Intercontinental Championship in a rematch, and of course we know that Kevin Owens is going to win that match. But really, just pathetic build-up on Kevin Owens, and I really can't stomach it. But, yeah, then the main event, Wyatt family versus Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, a reunion of the Shield, which had no fucking build of any kind, wasn't exciting, wasn't that big of a deal. Just, you know, regular match, and that's it. Wyatt family wins. Whoop-de-doo. Who fucking cares? We did have, they won by disqualification, though, because Dean Ambrose came out with a fucking kendo stick and whopped the shit out of everybody, and broke the kendo stick actually as well, and Roman Reigns got some momentum going into Hell in a Cell, so that was to be expected. But overall, this show was just a fucking waste of time. Be totally honest with you. Just a plain, bland, boring ass show. I think I'm going to probably consider making this my last review until I can find positive things to say about it, and maybe start watching some NXT shows and doing those reviews instead. At least there's some more positivity to talk about. There's something more in it for me and for you guys. I don't think you guys like listening to the same rhetoric bullshit every fucking week, week after week, about these Raw reviews being absolute garbage. I don't think I should review these anymore until the Raws start getting better or having some kind of value to even review them, besides always being negative and saying that everything on the show is just complete and utter bullshit. But at this time, leave your comments and opinions down below. I definitely will get back to you. As always, let me know if you guys would like me to keep doing these Raw reviews. Because me personally, I kind of think that maybe you guys are getting bored of it. I don't blame you. So am I, truthfully. But if you guys are actually interested in still watching me doing these Raw reviews, I definitely will. I'll try to be a little bit more exciting about it. Maybe make fun of the show or something like that. But really, at this point in time, just doing a general professional, review and giving my insight and opinion about it. It's really all negative. There's nothing positive about it. And I'm really kind of getting tired of it. But if you guys are still interested in watching these Raw reviews and want me to do more of them week after week, I definitely will. I'll try to put more entertainment involved in it instead of being, professional about it, make fun of it or something like that. But at this time, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. Bye.